Hunting Big with Steve Bartilla. Brought to you by
We are both blessed and absolutely cursed these days with the amount of knowledge there is readily available as it comes to taking our game up yet another level. The blessed part is, geez, when I was a kid, man, there was virtually nothing for what I considered really good whitetail information out there. For the most part, I went out there and I fell on my face. Don't get me wrong, there were some true pioneers out there, though the Wenzels helped me more than, well, thankfully I had a chance to tell them how much they helped me. But there's been a handful of experts way back then, but I'll tell you what, there weren't that many. You take away the Leonard LaRue's and the John Azogas, and I'll tell you what, there wasn't a heck of a lot of information out there. So we went out and we fell on our face. We made idiots of ourselves. We created glorious disasters out in the deer woods. And you know what? We learned. And that's kind of what I want to talk about today. And that is, the cursed part is that there is so much information out there. First, you got all these people out there trying to blow smoke up you. They're trying to either sell you on themselves or they're trying to sell you on a product so that they can get money for doing those sales. I can tell you right now that this right here is by far the best weapon we have. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love my Mathews. I've been shooting a Mission sub crossbow that's almost not even fair. Now, those primitive weapon muzzleloaders that you can go ahead and create groups like that at 250 yards, yeah, that's primitive. But don't take that as, I don't care. I mean, the way I see it, we should go ahead and support any legal hunting that we can. And I've got nothing against muzzleloaders. I'm just saying that's not primitive. Primitive was me hunting with my 30-30 lever action as a 12-year-old kid that jammed every other shot, that I was thankful as heck when I could hit this at 50 yards, much less 100. Get out there, experience stuff, and apply the common sense test. Because there's a lot of stuff out there. If it sounds like they're trying to sell you something, they probably are. And at the same time, quite frankly, most of today's experts, they don't hunt, at least not what we consider hunting. You know, nothing against this at all. I consulted for outfitters for years, but climbing up into a tree that a guide went ahead and scouted and hung for you, and the outfitter, this is the buck you're trying to kill right here. When he walks through and you shoot it, well, you killed it. But I'm not really thinking that somebody that does that all the time is in that great a position to tell you what you need to do for your hunting and how you need to change and what you need to do about it. And you, no, you are your own expert, okay? And I can all but promise you, if you're consistently killing whitetails, you're better than a lot of these experts. Trust yourself. Apply the common sense test. If it does not make sense to you, you know what? It probably isn't something that you should try. But at the same time, do not be afraid to experiment. The nice thing about all this information is, man, I'll tell you what, if you pay attention and pick the right stuff, you can go ahead and lay out a formula for how you hunt season, and that formula is pretty darn solid. But then we get rigid. We get rigid and we stick in those grooves. Don't. Do your best to always remain rigidly flexible. Adjust along the way. Do not be afraid to be creative. Do not be afraid to fail. I can't speak for anyone else out there, but I've failed plenty. And as much as I might not enjoy those failures at the time, they teach me so much more than success ever does. Apply the common sense test, be creative, use your most powerful weapon, and don't be afraid to fail. And if you're going to fail, man, fail gloriously. If you're going to do it, go all out. Do those things, and mainly, trust yourself. And you're probably going to be a better hunter than you are today.
Hunting Big with Steve Bartilla. Brought to you by
We're blessed and cursed with all the information today. On the one hand, there's a lot of good info out there, but you gotta go ahead and sift through so much garbage to get it. If you're consistently arrowing or putting slugs into whitetails, you know what? You're pretty darn good. As a matter of fact, I'd be willing to bet you that most of you are better than the experts that I know. Trust yourselves. Apply the common sense test and never be afraid to use the most powerful weapon you have.